Domestic or gender-based violence will cause early death, divorce, or physical disabilities in many homes, especially in this period that the country is battling with the outbreak of coronavirus. At this time, families are forced to stay together for longer time as a result of the current lockdown and restrictions of movement. The United Nations has established that 1 in 3 women globally have experienced physical and/or sexual violence. Facts have continued to emerge on increase in domestic violence in Nigeria. According to the Women Aid Collective, since the country ordered for lockdown, over 100 cases of domestic violence have been reported. This is just a few of those who decided to tell their stories. Many more imbibe the culture of silence. The current lockdown, closure of schools and restriction of movement has made some homes to become boxing bouts or wrestling rings for couples who cannot stand each other and now have to stay together. Today, parents release their stress on their children, husband against wife, and wives against husband or their nannies. This violence, though increased during every type of emergency, has raised concern as even the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres had to speak about it. The question one would ask is why the increase at this time? A legal practitioner in the state, Amina Garuba, said families are going through a lot of stress.
Usually, both men and women are in their workplaces. But now, because of the lockdown, although Bauchi presently we are not locked down, but there is no work. People are not going to work. So you find that both spouses are at home and they deal with each other 24/7. So there is no breathing space, and then the time that the woman have to like do some chores, home chores, and then take care of herself is not there. The husband is seeing her all the time. Of course, the patients will be running thin, and also say maybe the avenue for getting money for the man may be closed, or the money may not be coming in. The coming in. That coupled with the stress of thinking of how the world is turning because of the COVID-19 and every other thing will cause the stress level to increase for both the man and the woman.
She advised couples to communicate more often and should engage in games.
My advice is things are not as usual, and when, as the religious doctrines say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop, isn't it? So when you are at home and maybe one of the spouse is taking care of the house chores and doing every other thing, and the other spouse is sitting from morning till evening not doing anything, of course you'll become bored, you'll become picky, and then the stress level will increase. So my advice is to help out, to help each other out with the chores. I remember turning house chores into fun activities, that includes the children and both spouses will kind of reduce the stress level. And being able to discuss, handset that you are seeing, it causes a lot of, it contributes a lot to maybe some of the violence too that happens, domestic violence, because when a person, you are living with your spouse at home and all the time 24/7 he's on his handset, or she is on her handset, there's no that for getting to know each other more, for communication is not there, and as such the other party will feeling neglected, and then maybe fights or quarrels come in and it may result to violence. So we should minimize. I'm not saying that we shouldn't keep updated with things that are happening out there, but we should minimize our use of our mobile phones or other applications and try to concentrate on our spouses. We should
Elizabeth Carr, BATV News.